Here's what it is. God is good, and we are not. But God is so good that we are loved. And through his justice and his goodness, he took our sin by placing it all on his son, Jesus, so that we can have a relationship with him. See, left to our own devices, we're some bad apples. We're some low-down, dirty scoundrels. We are sinners, y'all, but God can take what is rotten and make it good. And he's not finished until our fruit is fresh. We're here to make podcasts good again. We're talking about it all. The good, the bad, wins, losses, life, love, all of the above. God has planned our future and canceled our past. This is the Bad Apples Podcast.
Man, I think that people probably started listening to that intro and they're like, oh man, I'm listening to the wrong podcast. And where that other one's been a classic for so long.
So long, man.
But I liked that. That was good.
Yeah, it's a bop, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit.
It's a bop.
Different. Did you do all the do?
I did not. The producer did.
Oh man, I was hoping that you did. You were just in your office upstairs.
That would have been amazing.
Doing that and then modulating the voice.
That would be awesome. Yeah, he has a talk box, or I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
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 I wish I had a talk box. For sure.
Yeah. Make your dreams come true. They can't be that expensive.
Probably not.
I mean, they probably were when Bon Jovi was using it.
Oh, yeah.
They first came out.
Dead or alive. That's what you sing now that you are looking at the cicadas. Are they dead or alive? You don't know.
Yeah. So are they crazy here?
Not at my house, but at Kia's house.
Oh.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any at our house.
Yeah. So here's a disclaimer. I'm trying some, as in eating them.
No, you're not. You're not eating a cicada.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No way.
Yes, I
am.
am.
No way.
Yeah, I am.
No way.
Yeah, I will.
No way. Prove it.
I will.
All right, you gotta record it.
Okay. First, I mean,
pictures or it's not real.
I mean, if I'm going to eat a cicada, I'm definitely recording it.
Gross. I cannot believe you're. Why? What possesses you to want to eat a cicada?
Evidently, it's a big thing. I don't know. Evidently, this is it's that the people fry them up, deep fry them up, and eat them, and also to cover them in chocolate.
Which people?
I don't know. I've never. Now that I think about it, I don't remember cicadas. Now that I see them and know them, I'm like, yeah, I don't really remember these things.
Yeah, they're nasty. They're like locusts.
Yeah, but they're cooler. They got these glowing red eyes. They look like moths. The Mothman. You ever know that folklore?
Yeah. If you call back to one of our previous episodes, we've talked about that.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, because we were looking at the Camp Monsters podcast.
Great podcast.
Yeah.
Speaking of podcasts,
welcome back.
welcome back.
It's been a long time. It's been a very long
time. We shouldn't have left you.
I think the last one was Easter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Man, life has just happened, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just happened.
Yeah.
You went on a cruise, dude?
I did. I went on a cruise. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So we went, our anniversary is in June, but June, July, that's super busy for me. And then we just decided if we were going to go on a Caribbean cruise, we want to go on a Caribbean cruise when it's cold here.
Yeah.
And we had such a good time. We came back and Emily's like, I really want to go again. So for Mother's Day, I paid the deposit on another one. So we're going to go again
this
next year.
Oh, next year?
Next year, yeah.
Man, that's cool.
Not this year.
That's cool.
If we would have discovered cruising pre-children, probably.
Sure.
Yeah, we'd go any chance we had.
Love
it. With the kids, it's like, we're not taking them with us again.
Yeah.
So,
I feel it.
Yeah. But it was good. It was really good. The food was awesome. I had beef Wellington 3 times.
Beef Wellington?
Yep.
Like Gordon Ramsay beef Wellington?
Well, okay, Gordon Ramsay. But it was
But it was good?
Included beef Wellington. It was so good. Like I had steak every night. I had two different. No, they didn't have lobster. It was a short cruise, so they don't do lobster on short cruises, which is like a money-saving venture for the cruise line. Okay. But I mean, like, here's what I'm learning. The traditional cruisers are really mad at cruising right now.
Okay.
Because more people are cruising now than ever.
Wow.
There's more and more people jumping into cruising now more than any other time. Yeah, it's crazy. And they're building these ships that are massive, massive, massive ships. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we were on a ship, that's big. It's the second newest with Celebrity. It's the second newest ship, and I think there was like 3,600 guests plus another 1,500 crew members, and so there's a lot of people on the ship, but that is half the size of Royal Caribbean's newest ships. Their newest ships hold 10,000 people.
Are you serious?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, that's bigger than counties in West Virginia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it might be bigger than all of West Virginia. No, I'm just joking.
Right, yeah.
But it's growing really, really rapidly. And
that's insane to think about.
With that growth, though, they're increasing prices because people are still booking these out. I mean, they're not only building bigger ships, they're filling these ships. So they're increasing prices. So classic cruisers are mad because they're increasing prices, and there's more people on the ship. And the cruise lines are figuring out, like, hey, we don't have to give people as much value because they're still going anyway.
Right.
So they started to take some of the value out of cruising. So people that have been doing it for a long time are like, man, the industry's not what it was. And that's true. But I don't care. It was still a great value for us. Like if you compare
a great value.
If you compare it apples to apples to anything else we were going to do, what was awesome is the hardest part of the whole trip was driving down to St. Louis to get on the airport or airplane, and then driving back from St. Louis to come home. That was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Everything else was so easy. I mean,
really,
we landed in Fort Lauderdale. The shuttle picked us up, took us to our hotel. The hotel was super close to like a bunch of food and like an outlet mall and all this other stuff. And so we stopped and we had our food that night and, got well rested and whatnot. And then we got in an Uber, 5 minutes, $15 down the road. We were able to get to the cruise port. He dropped us off at the door. Somebody picked up our bags as we were getting out of the Uber. Like they picked up our bags to check our bags. We walked through security and there was a line. There's a lot of people in security.
Sure.
And that was kind of unexpected. They were busy. It still was 15 minutes from that door to the door of the ship. 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
And I got on the ship. Everything was taken care of. Everything.
Man.
All my food, all my drinks, anything I wanted, dessert, coffee. And if you didn't like it, you know what? You just left it. It was so cool.
Ain't God good?
Oh, I mean, it makes you feel like a high roller. I felt like my children. Like somebody else was there to take care of everything. Somebody else made my bed. They picked up after me.
Did they make the little towel animals with the towels?
No, but they did put chocolate on our pillow every night.
I mean, hey, that's better.
Yeah,
that's
right?
way better.
Exactly. So, I mean, for real though, I didn't really thought about that. It's like what my kids get all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody else made my food.
Yeah.
Cleaned up. Made sure I was happy.
Yeah, man. That's how it's going to be when we walk into heaven.
When I threw a fit, they apologized profusely and tried to make it right. I
love it.
It was great. When I got tired, I just got to take a nap. It was easy. It was really fun, really easy. And people get weirded out about the boat thing, like you're stranded. Number one, you're stranded in the middle of the ocean. It's not that bad.
Right.
And it's stranded in the middle of the ocean with 4 different restaurants, 14 different restaurants, 20 bars, lots of shows, lots of live music, lots of other people, a casino if you're so inclined.
Yeah.
Anything in the world, anything you want, it's right there. So except for candy. They didn't have a lot of candy. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was weird.
Couldn't get a candy bar?
Well, I don't know. It's just like they don't have that readily available to people. You can go and purchase it in the gift shop. There were like Cheez-Its and stuff, but I'm like,
Cheez-Its.
Why wouldn't you have just
give me a Snickers,
Yeah, right. Why wouldn't they have their like some snack stands set up with Snickers and such?
Yeah.
I would have paid another, not a drink package, but a snack package. If they had Ben and Jerry's on call, and Cheez-Its on call.
But what, like 24/7, can you get something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's 2:00 in the morning. You want dessert, you go get it.
Okay, 2:00. You did pick the wrong time. Like they do pizza until like 3 in the morning. Wow. So they have a pizza stand that's open from a little bit before lunch till 3 in the morning.
It's insane.
And then, but the stir fry station, the custom made stir fry station, is open till midnight.
That's crazy.
Like, all day, open till midnight. And and so but then there's a coffee shop that has like lots and lots of treats and whatnot that you could get those till midnight. I mean, if you wanted if you got real hungry in the middle of the night, you're going to be disappointed. But this cruise line really isn't for people that are going to be in that boat. Like it's a lot of older people.
Sure.
I think the median age was probably 50 and above. Like I think that's most of the people.
Okay.
And most of the people that were millennials were elder millennials, and they ran in packs. Like I think we were the youngest just couple.
Millennial. You're still considered a millennial?
Oh yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I was the last leg of the millennials. No. I don't even like saying I'm a millennial. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, dude, I'm not Gen Z. I'm not even close.
I thought you were a young pup.
No. I'm 30, gonna be 3.
30 going to be that's
gonna
right.
be 33.
Yeah, I really thought I was the last.
I mean, I'm not 36 like you, but you know.
I'm 35.
I need to try this coffee.
Okay, so speaking of the coffee on there, was it good?
Yeah,
that's what I figured.
It wasn't this good. That's for sure.
You like this?
Yeah, this is good.
This is called Intuition. All right, it's from Peoria.
It's very intuitive.
Yeah, I found it at Harvest Market, and I never heard of it. When I lived in Peoria, I never heard of this. I don't think they were a thing.
That's really good.
And this is the Polaris blend. It's got a little bit of cherry tobacco, walnut, and vanilla in it.
Cherry tobacco.
Yeah, I don't really get that.
I couldn't tell you. Oh, okay. Tobacco kind of has a raisin taste, right?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
I would say the cherry, yeah. I don't know if I'd get cherry tobacco, but maybe like just a normal pipe tobacco. I would say. Yeah. I could definitely expect, like, especially when you're brewing it. I could definitely pick up a little bit of hints in the back of my nostrils.
Yeah. Okay. Like a little bit of olfactory.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. My coffee game lately has been subpar.
Subpar?
Dude, it's been horrible.
Why? What have you been doing?
Nothing. It's been like 3 days.
You don't drink coffee anymore?
I mean, yeah, I do, but kind of. Wow. Like it's been, I don't know, man. It's been weird. Like,
you don't drink coffee every day?
Not any, like, I'm just now getting back. I bought these bags of the Intuition at Harvest Market because I just needed something, what I felt like was, primo.
Yeah, like it was a little bit of a pop, something new.
Yeah, and I'm slowly getting back into it. But man, there was a span of like a week where I had one day I had coffee, dude. I had headaches and like, my morning routines changed a little bit, and so I didn't really. There were some mornings I didn't have time to make coffee.
What's changed?
Well, my dog.
Ooh.
There for the span of a couple of weeks, I was having to get up every morning and like make him a certain meal and like put medicine in it and do all this stuff. And I was also up all night taking him out. And so it was like, I'm waking up in the mornings, I'm dragging. So I'm not having time to make coffee or anything. So
yikes.
Yeah, man. So it's been really sad. It's been really sad. I will say though, I've had Onyx.
Okay.
For the past 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. And incredible. Nothing has been bad from Onyx.
Really?
Okay. They Kia got me a subscription for my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it was single origin. Dude, I knew Onyx was good. I've heard Onyx was good, but I just didn't know they were coming with that level. Like they were coming with haymakers, bro. Haymakers of coffee flavor punching me in the face every morning.
Goodness.
It was great. They had one that had like, it was Honduras and it had a little bit of banana, like this hint of banana, and you could literally just like, I was like, I'm in Honduras right now. Like I'm there. And
Have you ever been to Honduras?
No, but I felt like this is the closest I'll ever be.
Honduras. Made me laugh so hard I dropped my phone and my sunglasses.
But yeah, that's as good as the coffee as I've had recently.
Yeah, well, banana. This is not coffee related, but did you know at Tasty Treat, best ice cream in the world.
In Taylorville?
In Taylorville. They got banana soft serve right now, and it's really good.
Dude.
It's banana and raspberry.
Oh, my gosh.
I waited in 45 minutes in the line last Saturday.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
That's so good. It sounds so amazing.
The banana is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're
good. If I make it there before the month is out, I think I'm going to get a banana cone dipped in chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
Like a chocolate covered banana.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's exactly right. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, banana and chocolate, all time ultimate great combination.
Dude, all right. So what I'll do is when I'm feeling hungry.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for ice cream. I make Joe
Okay.
Biden look like an absolute amateur.
Does he like ice cream?
Yes. It's like what he's known for.
About really?
Yeah.
Joe Biden?
Yeah, falling in ice cream. So, but anyway. So like with the ice cream, if I get vanilla ice cream, load up a bowl with that, slice up a banana, put some chocolate on there, and then put some peanut butter in the microwave. And dump that peanut butter all over there.
Stop it.
So good.
Stop it right now.
So good. And you've got a lot of major food groups there. You've got, the calcium and the fat from the ice cream.
Yeah.
You've got the, the protein coming from the peanut butter.
Dude.
And, bananas are healthy, right? Potassium.
For sure.
So electrolytes.
Man.
It's a total balanced
I love that.
midnight meal.
I love that.
Yeah.
Was it Elvis that was so obsessed with like peanut butter, banana, and chocolate or something like that?
I don't know.
Me either.
I thought he was obsessed with drugs, and that's why he died. They call that addiction. That was a funny one.
Oh, yes. We are back. Yeah, oh, yeah, also that.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, I love, and I wasn't always a banana fan, but I'm definitely starting to kind of grow into all things banana.
All things banana.
Yeah, except bananas on a burger. Okay.
People do that?
Let me tell you something. I'll never forget one time. I was at Myrtle Beach. Okay, dirty Myrtle. All right.
Gosh, of course they're going to put bananas on a hamburger.
They had
Myrtle Beach.
Jimmy Buffett's restaurant, Cheeseburger in Paradise. Yep. Okay. He put, I don't know if he did it.
No, I don't think he did it.
I was already battling some stomach problems that week. Okay. I was already in a mess.
Okay.
And
like currently sitting at the table, you were in a mess?
Well, I had just got over it the night before.
Okay, all right.
And I was like, okay, I'm good. I think I'm good. I can eat again. So I got the, I don't remember what it was called, but I didn't look at what was on the burger. I just thought the name was fascinating. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting that. And because I also asked, like, is this a good burger? I said, what are our top sellers?
Yeah.
Like, cool. Give it to me. Dude, I bit into that thing. It was mayonnaise, banana, and like some sort of weird other sauce. Dude, my stomach immediately just churned.
Yeah.
And later that night, I destroyed a bathroom in this, those stores, they're all the same. They're all the same stores at the beach.
Oh yeah.
They have the shirts and the
surf shop,
hermit crabs and all that
surf style.
Dude, I ran in and I said, "Hey, you got a public bathroom?" And she pointed. She was foreign and she pointed at me and she pointed towards the bathroom. I was like, "Cool." I ran, dude, and I went in this bathroom. It was in this little cubby hole, like this weird little back cubby hole, and I was like, "Man, this is really private." And I'm destroying this bathroom, dude. I'm literally destroying, and this is going to get graphic, but I'm in the middle of wiping, and she busts in, and is screaming at me in some other language, and evidently it wasn't a public bathroom. And one of the greatest stories I have. I ran out of there and I was with my cousin. I got in the truck and I was like, "Let's go now."
You should have said it was either in here or with the hermit crabs. Like, this is your choice.
So there you go. We go from bananas.
Nasty.
That's where my mind goes.
Nasty.
You're welcome.
Well, okay. Other than Apollo being sick, and how you been with it? Well,
Dude,
okay.
I went full on redneck country western in my life.
What do you mean?
For a day.
Oh yes, those stupid cowboy boots. So like,
I got in this kit. I saw, you know who I saw wearing them? Pat McAfee.
Oh gosh.
Okay, and I was like, dang, those look fresh. Like, I like those.
Oh, Pat McAfee.
And I thought, man, I wonder if I can pull off some snakeskin cowboy boots. Not just cowboy boots. Snakeskin cowboy boots. Pythons. My dogs will be hissing at people as I walk by. You know what I'm saying? So I said, me and Kia are sitting in the yard one day and we're talking about it. And I'm going on and on about it. And I had the money to do it, but I was like, I just don't know if I want to do this. Like, I don't know. Like, I knew I was getting ready to finish college up, and I was like, man, I want to treat myself, or
treat yourself,
whatever. And I was in this.
Boots.
I was in this, this phase a couple of days. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there in the yard, and I say, hey, let's run over to Boot Barn. I'm gonna try some on, see what they look like.
Yeah.
So I go over and I try them on. We're cracking up laughing because
of course.
like I didn't know they were that comfortable.
Cowboy boots?
Yeah, like they were amazing. I was like, it feels like I'm walking on air.
I don't know that they're supposed to be that comfortable.
I didn't never in a million years thought they were supposed to be that comfortable.
Yeah.
So I try them on, and then, I'm just like, I just don't know. This is a lot of money. Well, then I get on their website, and I find these, like, dark brown ones. And I'm like, oh, man, I like these a lot better than the flashy, colorful ones, right? Mm-hmm. So I've also figured out you could do, like, the, websites now are doing the Klarna or the Affirm where you can pay in installments.
Sure, yeah.
I did it. I ordered them, okay? I ordered these...
These things had to have been like $300.
They were snake skin cowboy boots, $300. Okay, I got a discount, so it was in like $270. Okay, I've never purchased anything that I wear that's that expensive. Okay?
Yeah, of course not.
I have a pair of Jordan 1s that were still not that expensive. No. Okay, so and I don't wear those. No. I wear them special occasions. So I bought these things, and immediately when I hit purchase, okay, I just got this really sick feeling in my gut.
Took you back to Myrtle Beach.
It did.
Yeah. That lady yelling at you, get out of here.
I was like, oh, and this was at night, and I couldn't sleep, dude. I really couldn't sleep. I'm like, what is going on with me that I'm feeling this way? Like, I can't do this. So I was like, Kia was like, well, get them, try them on, wear them, see what you think, And I'm like, yeah, okay. I never got over it. Okay, they came.
You sent me a picture of them.
I did,
and you're like, I'm gonna get these. I'm like, no, you're not. These look stupid.
You know what? I purchased them just because you said I would.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're not eating one of them cicadas.
And I will.
No, you will not.
But what's funny too is, like, I told Kia, I was like, Garrett,
in your mouth.
I was like, Garrett said he's going to make fun of me for the rest of my life if I get these. Now I have to get them because this is going to be an ongoing joke, and it's going to be awesome. So I bought them. They came in. I put them on. I liked them. I was like, dang, these are cool.
But they're not $300 cool.
But they're not $300 cool. And also, I'm just a little bit too rap for them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you got to know who you are.
Like, I was like, I even asked Kia, I'm like, can I still listen to rap and wear these?
Maybe Beyonce.
Maybe Beyonce. Yeah. And so I was just like, I just can't justify. And I don't even know if it's justification, because I don't have to justify to anybody.
No.
But in my
what you want to be.
In my personal life, I just couldn't come to the terms with myself walking around on $300 snakeskin boots.
And when were you going to wear them?
When was I going to wear them?
You going to wear them to church?
I would have.
And then we'll have a good laugh about it. And every time you wear them in church, I'll go. But Cody the Cobra.
I just couldn't do it. And you know what? I went right back into listening to rap, and I was like, yeah, I can't do it.
And so you sent them back.
I did. I took them
and
straight
you got yourself
back.
Some fresh Air Force Ones instead.
I got myself some Air Maxes.
Yeah, I knew it.
I did. I got me a pair of white and navy blue.
That's right. Stay in your lane, baby.
Air Maxes, man.
I got some cowboy boots.
Do you really?
Yeah. I bought them for the ranch. So I'm a board member out at Refuge Ranch.
Okay, so functional.
Yeah, and so I wanted a pair of boots because I planned to be on the board until I don't know, for a while.
Yeah.
So I thought it's a worthwhile investment, and at that time, by the time I bought them, I'd been out to the ranch 3 times that week. So I'm like, hey, this makes sense, and
I like that.
So, but I got some Justin boots. They're steel toe.
Okay.
And they're waterproof.
Okay.
And they still look sharp. They're a little small, but I went that route instead of them. I didn't want them to be too big, and then
mine were too big. Yeah. I got my size, but they were way too big.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad that I gave up the country lifestyle.
Yeah, just wasn't you,
because the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef just catapulted me right back into my love for hip hop.
What is their beef?
Can't talk about it on this podcast.
Oh. We ain't that podcast?
We are not that podcast.
We are not that podcast. Well,
yeah, but the coffee's good. Life is good. I finished college. This semester, I got all A's.
Man.
I got one C,
Ooh.
but I'm going to call it a B.
Okay.
Because by average, it's a B.
Okay.
And
like if you average it against your A's?
If I average it with all the work that I done and my scores in the class, I got a B. But my professor, who I will choose to pray for and not say the things that I want to say about her, she decided to give me a C because I didn't do the extra credit. So therefore, I didn't put in effort because I didn't do her extra credit.
Yeah, but the whole idea of extra credit is it is in fact extra.
Thank you.
It's like it's an optional. Extra credit is by definition for extra credit.
Thank you. I hope you were listening.
Not baseline.
Leslie.
Whoa.
Yeah. You and your geologist friends and your oceanography friends can gather together and...
Man, I only got one D in college, and it was earth science. It was the only online class I took, and it went very poorly.
Yeah.
Very poorly.
Yeah.
It turns out you still have to do the homework, even if it's an online course.
I had my cousin in earth science for earth science in high school, so I got an A.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was your teacher?
Yeah, my cousin.
Feels like nepotism.
Probably.
But I guess in West Virginia, it's got to be tough to find teachers you're not related to.
I knew it was coming.
You know? But that's not even a hillbilly joke as much as it's just not a lot of people.
It's just
around.
a small town.
You know, she also was your earth science teacher. He was your earth science teacher.
Yes.
And he was also, your trash guy, or
no.
Like, oh, okay. All right. I mean, there's only so many people, and there's a lot of jobs to be done in order to make life function.
That is true. My principal, he played a song from Russell Dickerson yesterday, and he was just so happy with it. He's like, yeah, it could be related to you. I'm like, I hope not. I don't claim him as a Dickerson because I don't like his music.
Oh.
He was really shocked by that.
Who's Russell Dickerson?
He's a country artist. He's like the Luke Bryan that never made it to Luke Bryan status.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like
Duke Bryan. Do you know Russell Dickerson? See?
Yeah, nobody knows.
Not even Kia knows.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. That's
Sorry,
true.
Russ.
Anyway, so I passed college about this semester. I'm not working this summer, my guy.
Ooh.
So I'm getting ready to.
We're sleeping in.
No, not really.
Oh,
I'm actually going to still get up and try to walk to my patio and have some coffee.
All right. Yeah, there we go. I was like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to do things.
Okay.
I'm going to read a lot.
Okay.
Man, I got some books to read.
Are you going to travel?
Yeah, we are traveling I'm going to Tennessee to meet Kia's dad.
Oh, cool.
And her grandmother. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, man. It's getting serious, I guess. And
you're right.
And then we're going from Tennessee, good old Rocky Top, and then we're taking the country roads to West Virginia.
Mountain
Mama.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
To hang out with my family. So
yeah,
man.
Yeah, how long's that trip going to be?
What is it? 7 days, 8 days, 8 or 9.
Oh man, what are you going to do with Apollo?
He's going to stay here, and my landlord's going to watch him, and then we're having a tag team triple threat watching him after my landlord can't watch him. So we'll have Kia's mom, and then Tatum and Sydney.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
there you go.
Here we go.
Hopefully Apollo's not sick anymore.
Yeah, and just to clarify, he's fine. He's just pooping a lot of runny rivers of brown. Not anymore.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so he had this thing called Clostridium, which is brought on by rainwater. And so,
when it rains, it pours. Hey-o. I thought it was funny.
It was great.
Oh, man. Well, okay. Man. The big question, so we can actually talk about something like that's helpful.
Okay.
Here it's been nice catching up. I hope that people have had a good time catching up. Would you chill out over there with the drop in the water bottle tops over there?
Kia,
thanks.
Kia, if you need to step out, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Anyway, so what have you been reading, and what has stuck out to you from what you've been reading?
All right. Well, all right. So I'm here's what I've done. I've kind of like I hit this place one day and I was like, I'm going to read the crap out of books this year.
The crap out of it.
Like I looked back on last year and I only read I got on Goodreads and I marked all the books that I read last year and it was super sad. Okay, and I'm like, dang, this sucks. Like I'm on a podcast saying I love books and I've only read maybe 7 in a year. Like that's not even one a month.
And it's funny is like I don't claim to love books.
Yeah, you don't. That's true. And you read more than I do or listen.
I listen to a lot of books.
Same thing.
And
so
a lot of books.
So I started I'm like, all right, I'm going to do 2 different things here. I'm going to leisure read, and then I'm also going to spiritual read.
Okay.
And so I'm going to pick some books from my spiritual catalog and slowly go through those.
So you're telling me growing in the spirit isn't leisurely to you? Would y'all pray for Cody, please? Pray for him.
I think it's work. It's not leisure.
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, so
it's like the people that are like going to the gym is my hobby.
No way.
No, it's work.
Yes, it is work.
It's like going to work is my hobby.
Yeah, yeah, and I also I've also always been on the thing where you got to finish the books, like just finish the books, and I don't want to do that. I want to slowly get through them. And me and Kia started going through practicing the way together, and I was like, man, there's so much in this that I want to comb this. And I don't want to just skim through it and say I read another book. So I picked books that I can skim through and just read and mark off my list. And then I have my spiritual books that I'm going through.
You get the rush of completing books.
Right.
Without the feeling of stalling out.
Yeah. And so I set a goal for 20 books this year, which has been high for me in the past couple years. But I'm already on book 9. I just finished book 9 last night.
Dude, and we're only about halfway through the year.
Yeah, so summer I'm going to read a lot, So, but the one book that has there's been a few that stood out to me.
Are you okay?
Yes. I'm just getting choked up thinking about these books and thinking about cicadas.
Gross. Thinking about eating the cicada.
He don't think I'm going to eat them. I'm going to eat them. I'm going to dip them in some marinara.
There's no way. There's no way.
You got to deep fry them.
No way.
You got to deep fry them.
It doesn't matter what you do to them.
They're not going to be buzzing. They're not going to be like buzzing in your mouth.
Have you seen the cicada in real life?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you ain't eating one of those things. Nobody looks at a cicada and is like, oh, yummy.
People do.
No.
People do it.
Even the chickens are like, if I have to.
Okay, books.
Okay.
All right. So, the one that stood out to me the most, and it's so simple, is Wild Birds.
Okay.
Incredible book.
It's like a collection of stories, right?
Yeah, it's from the Port Arthur or
Port William.
Yeah, the membership or whatever. So it's 6 different stories from that, and it's all kind of connected, and it's just beautiful. Some of the stories were just absolutely beautiful and well written.
Yeah.
And so that's the one that really I loved. There was one that I read that's very not my forte of reading, but I was on Book Talk, okay, and all of them were like, "You got to read this book. You got to read this book. You got to read this book. It's crazy." It's called The Fisherman.
Was it good?
Well, yes. Okay. Yes, and I'll never read it again. Yes, it was really well written, and boy, was it deep. And the underlying message under it was this beautiful but also very heavy topic of grief. Okay, so it was about grief.
Cool,
but it was a horror novel. All right, very much not my.
Did it freak you out?
Yeah,
you were freaked out the whole time.
It was very freaky, and also I feel like it affected me, like my mood. Like it affected. Like,
is that why I hadn't
like
seen you in so long?
Maybe there was
sitting in the basement, just
like I was just so like, and it was about this guy who lost his wife.
Okay,
and he meets another guy who loses his wife, and they end up being fishing buddies.
Okay,
and basically they go to this place called Dutchman's Creek, and one guy knew why he was going was because there evidently was otherworldly or other dimension type stuff, and you could possibly see your lost loved ones again. But there's a price to seeing them again.
You got to kill your friend.
When they come back, they're not who they are. So one guy realizes that, the other guy doesn't. So it's this really crazy story. And like the guy who's narrating the story, Abe, he tells a story of how Dutchman's Creek came to be, and then there's like a story inside of a story, but the underlying thing through it all is grief. Even the fisherman in the story, who is the quote unquote bad guy, was dealing with the loss of his family, and everything he was doing was because of grief. So the kind of the message was, what will we do? Like what lengths will we go in our grief? So it was a really deep message, and the last page was the best page, but it was very heavy, very difficult to get through, and I'll never read it again.
Deal. Never reading it.
So other than that, on the spiritual side, happy side, one of the best little books I've ever read is Practice of the Presence of God by Brother Lawrence. Finished that one last night. Beautiful book.
Yeah.
Beautiful book. And I feel like from the very day I started reading it, I feel like I've been tested in the contents of the book. And I don't feel like I've done very well. I feel like there was one day I got so mad I was just screaming in my car, screaming at people, just so angry.
Because you weren't doing well? Or is that you weren't doing?
All different things. What happened that day, Kia? Why was I so mad that day?
Were you in the car when he was freaking out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that wasn't that day. No, that wasn't the B-Dubs day. It was a lot of small things. Obviously, it was the Petco day, where they wouldn't help me. But then something else happened that day. Anyway, I just had a really rough day, and I just lost it, and I felt like, man, I'm really not practicing the presence right now. Like I'm not, like, because the one thing that brother Lawrence talks about is,
I just imagine you driving down the road, shaking the steering wheel, honking at people, flipping the bird, yelling at the top.
Flipping the bird,
yelling at the top of your lungs, saying all kinds of expletives. Then you hit the stoplight, and you're like, I'm really not practicing the presence of God. And God's like, no, like you left me like 6 blocks ago, bro. Like yeah. And Brother Lawrence is crying in the corner. He's like, I swear, Jesus, I didn't put that in the book. I know you didn't get a chance to read it before you died, but it's not in there, I promise.
That's really too accurate. I was like, there was one moment where I was like, I had to hold the steering wheel. I was like, ah! And then this person like is next to me, and they're like, and I'm like, Jesus. I got to stop like Jesus, please help me. But the idea of the book is, no matter what our day is, no matter what our work is, loving God through that and doing everything that we can for the love of God and to our best abilities that God has graced us with. So yeah, I just feel like I've not done well. So I'm being transparent. I'm not done well with that, these past few weeks. So I'm glad I read the book, though.
Brother Lawrence, Franciscan monk, right?
I'm gathering that he's a monk, but it was odd how they described him.
But didn't he start as like a cobbler, like a shoe guy?
He didn't say that. I don't think so.
I think it's Brother Lawrence. I could be totally wrong, but I think that Brother Lawrence didn't start as a monk. Like he went to the monastery.
He did, yeah.
But to work on shoes, and he never actually like ascended to some sort of teacher status. But then people began to come see him.
Yep.
And then his works were.
Yep.
They've been monumental, but it's interesting.
He ended up just as like a cook.
Yeah,
like just a cook in the kitchen.
Yep, he's just I think it was shoes. I think he was a cobbler.
Yeah, 300 years ago was. I was like, man, this is a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
beautiful book, and it's short. It's 90 pages.
Cool,
beautiful book, and
he's got a lot of shoes to work on. He has time to write a bunch of words.
Right, John Mark Comer, he recommended it, and he even talks about it in Practicing the Way a little bit. So,
yeah, I always love it when you talk about like celebrity people, like you talk to them, like John, my buddy John, John Mark Comer, he
texted me and
he was like, he recommended this book. Now, when Cody says that, he saw it on his Instagram.
Feed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes, he sent it to me on Instagram. He sent it to my feed, and I said, "Oh, this is." And I actually bought, I think, all but one of those recommendations.
Yeah.
Which I think I talked about last time on the podcast. But
Was
anyway,
the one that you didn't buy, it was like the one on anger, right? Because you didn't have that problem. Is that right?
maybe
How not to have bad days.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should go back and buy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so other than that, man, it's been books like True Grit. It's been I'm reading a book about fishing right now, fly fishing.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I have. So I'm trying to think of what I've read since Easter. When we were on the cruise, I thought it would be fun to read Treasure Island because I'd never been to the Caribbean. And in true Pirates of the Caribbean fashion, I need to read a pirate book. So I read Treasure Island. What? It was awesome. It was great.
Oh, that sounds so you.
Dude,
like
okay, the whole premise of the book is they end up on an island looking for treasure, and I'm sitting on an island reading it, and I'm like, "Hey, this feels
and you
accurate."
found your treasure.
No, I mean it was really good. I don't know if you ever read Treasure Island.
Oh gosh, I feel like I had to in grade school.
Robert Louis Stevenson, probably not in grade school.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
You know,
no, I'm thinking of what I'm thinking about Robinson Crusoe. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read Treasure Island.
Oh man, you should hang on.
Is it long?
No, give me a second.
If it's not long, I'll read it.
I got it. Give me a second. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, this is short.
Yeah, it's super. I finished it on the cruise. Like I
yeah,
started
that's
it
cool.
and finished it on the cruise.
Yeah,
So-
I'll have to read this.
I also brought The Great Gatsby. Didn't open that.
Sorry about that.
And I thought.
Have you read it before?
No. Is it bad?
I don't know. I hated the movie.
Oh, okay. And then A Tale of Three Kings. You know, have you?
I have that.
Have you ever read it?
No.
Okay. It's really good.
I
I've read it
have
before.
several Gene Edwards books that I've never read.
Yeah, I don't know what else he writes, but no, keep the Treasure Island.
Oh, I will.
Keep the Treasure Island. Read it.
That's cool.
You know.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good, and it's fun too because was sitting out in the Caribbean waters,
looking at the ocean,
super blue, listening
beautiful.
to some guys talk about being on a ship, and I thought to myself, this would be terrifying if I weren't locked in on this boat.
Yeah,
the people that got on like sailboat ships, and explored that area were nuts. They had to be absolutely out of their mind nuts.
Yeah.
And at least in the Bahamas and in the Caribbean, you've got like a lot of islands to like bounce around to and whatnot. But sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, no way.
Yeah, man.
No way. Not a chance.
One of the books I read actually talks about that. Like they were from England and they sailed over and the whole premise of the book and the series actually, I'm in this series now, is that they want to establish life in the Blue Ridge Mountains and that part. So they come over and they find the Carolinas. So yeah, and I can't get it either, man. Like the storms and the pirates.
Well, and the other thing too is when you read the book, like when you read the Treasure Island book, he talks a lot about death for a children's book. Like it's pretty brutal.
Okay,
there's some brutal parts of it for being a children's book, like a young audience. And what I deduced is that life must have been much harder back then, to where it's pretty okay to talk about people dying in grotesque ways.
Yeah, because
it just happened. It's part of life. Like life was harder.
Yeah,
now life it's not that hard. It's pretty easy to get across the Atlantic.
That is true. Although I've never been.
Really?
Never been across it.
Not yet.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought you had like a plan to go someplace in
England.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kia's family's over there.
Yeah. Aren't you going to go?
Yeah, we're going. Not this year. 2025.
2025. See, there you go. You'll get across the Atlantic.
We wanted to stay this summer and watch the cicadas emerge.
You're
and mate.
joking me.
And so we said we're going to wait. Hey, they're over there, man. Do you understand that the life of a cicada is just for mating? You know, I mean, what a life they live.
What?
Yeah, they just mate and die.
Okay.
You know,
mate and die.
Yeah.
All right. That was
you know, they do a little bit more, but
okay. Anyway, so I read Treasure Island.
yes.
And then I also read, I listened to Think Ahead, Craig Rochelle.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, won our celebrity preacher
He won it.
showdown. We just decided that today.
Yeah, we did.
We needed to tie that one up.
We did have the championship. It happened, but that episode is lost somewhere, and we weren't able to record it. So
That's right. That's right.
So he won.
The long lost.
It's in the archive somewhere.
Yeah. It's on Treasure Island. Anyway, but yeah, it was good. He talks about 7 decisions that you can make ahead of time that'll help make your life less decision filled.
Oh, okay.
He starts with this premise of decision fatigue. It's like we are so fatigued by decisions that we end up spending a lot of time on insignificant decisions and not a lot of time on significant decisions. And because we haven't pre-decided as many things, we just kind of bounce from decision to decision.
Wow.
And so his thing is, 7 pre-decisions that you can make that will, improve your life in whatever way. So I'm trying to remember what they all are.
If I would grind my coffee the night before,
That actually is not one of them.
well.
He does have one. It's called Be Ready. Let me look. Let me see if I can get to the. Let me get to the chapter list. That way I can tell you. Oh, and leadership pain. I forgot about that.
Leadership pain.
Yeah.
By who?
That's Samuel Chand. Chand.
Oh, I know him. I actually heard him speak.
Sam Chand?
Yeah, I heard him speak at a conference. Very cool guy.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm serious. He is laughing at me like I'm joking, but I'm serious.
I'm not.
I know you believe me. You believe me.
I do. He's a Christian. He's a Christian, like,
yes,
pastor, pain speaker.
He is.
So like,
thank you, Kia.
He talks mostly.
Take that.
Just, geez, I wasn't meaning for you to.
No, yeah, I heard it. He was a dynamic speaker. I loved hearing him speak, and then we got a free book out of it that day.
Was it leadership pain?
No.
Anyway, it was good. It was good. I appreciated it. Is there any way for me to? Let me do this. I know what I can do. I got it. I liked Think Ahead so much that I got it for Kindle as well.
Okay. I just now jumped on the Kindle.
Yeah. And so what's cool is if you flag things in the audiobook, then you can actually find it in the physical book.
Okay.
As like as a bookmark. So, like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So within the Audible app, there's like a little part that if you hit the button, then it'll be like, oh, you liked this. Okay, so here are the 7 pre-decisions. It's I will be ready, I will be devoted, I will be faithful, I will be an influencer, I will be generous, I will be consistent, and I will be a finisher. Oof. So, and what's nice is like it wasn't what I expected. I really thought, especially Craig Rochelle, he's like hyper disciplined dude.
Yeah.
So I thought he'd be walking through some very specific disciplines that he has that everybody should have, and that wasn't his. Now he talks about those specific disciplines, but that wasn't his angle. It was more, hey, here's some general decisions.
Yeah.
Lump some decisions in there. So it wasn't maybe as practical as I wanted it to be. I really wanted it to be like, hey, decide to do this.
Okay.
It's going to, that's a domino that's going to, knock over a bunch of other really good dominoes.
So it's just kind of,
it's
vague,
generic,
yeah.
It's like, I will be ready, So his whole point there with being ready is, not being surprised by temptation. So
yeah,
he has a quote I really like. He says, why face the temptation tomorrow that you can eliminate today? And so his whole premise there is moving the line. So if you're going to be tempted, so he uses this example, if you're tempted to spend too much money on Amazon, you know, what you can do to remove that temptation is you can give your account login to somebody else.
Yeah.
And anytime that you want to make a purchase, they have to make it for you. Like, that's his thing. He's like, it feels extreme, but if you can eliminate the temptation that you're going to have today, by making a pre-decision, why wouldn't you do that? And he uses the stories, you know, that Jesus talks about, you know, gouging out your eye or cutting off your hand.
That's good stuff.
You know, it's that idea of take sin seriously enough that you are willing to move the line, you know, move the line to where it feels extreme, but it really keeps you out of having to make a decision in the moment.
Man.
He said, because in the moment, you make poor decisions.
Absolutely. That's something that I've always wanted to do in my life, was work on how I could be proactive instead of reactive. So I need to read this book.
Yeah, it's good, and it was a good listen. He did it. Like, he read the book, and I always appreciate that.
How long was the listen?
The listen was, of course, you would ask that, because that's fair. I don't know. Can't tell. Man. It's an hour shorter than it appears, because okay. What in the world? Undo. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's an hour shorter than it appears, because it's because he reads the entire. Okay, so it's 5 hours and 27 minutes. So, but it's really 4 hours and 27 minutes, because the appendix is a whole nother hour, and he reads the entire appendix.
He reads the really?
Yeah.
My God,
it's got like lots.
Did you listen to it?
I listened to a little bit of it. I was like, this is not as interesting as I wanted it to be. And honestly, that's what kind of led me to buy the book, is so that I could read the appendix, because it's got helpful tools in it.
Oh, okay.
Helping you kind of.
I was like,
see
what?
And so he uses different scriptures to outline different points. And so it's nice having that appendix and being able to reference that.
Sure.
You know, if I start teaching on any of these things, if I'm doing a series on it, or I have to preach a message and it's about one of those 7 ideas, I can look back on that and use that as a starting spot. Okay. But it was good. It was really good. And, you know, I liked Leadership Pain too. It kind of was... The problem with books like Leadership Pain, the premise of the book is, if you want to grow in your leadership, you have to increase your not threshold, tolerance for pain. Yeah. So not necessarily physical pain, but like leaders just go through it. That's just the reality of it. Like, there's pressure associated with leadership. The higher you are up in leadership, the less popular you will be with the people that really dislike you. Yeah. So it's your gaps widen, and if you are afraid of pain, if you're afraid of betrayal, if you're afraid of stress, if you're afraid of all of those things, you're not going to be able to lead. And so his whole thing is, your tolerance for pain sets your leadership lid. And so it's a good premise.
Yeah.
Could have been about half as long as it was, because, I mean, how much fleshing out do you really need to do there? You know? And so I kind of felt redundant as the book unfolded, but it was good. It made me simultaneously not want to be a leader, and then also like gave me a lot of peace of mind over just the reality of leadership. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, yeah, this is just going to suck sometimes, and that's just the way it is. It's not that you're doing it wrong. Right. Like, if you think that because you're leading and it's hard, it means that you're, like, if you just assume that means, oh, I must be doing something wrong because it shouldn't be this hard. He's kind of like, no, it's always going to be hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be hard.
For sure.
And it's going to hurt. And he said that, you know, your growth, he said growth only happens in seasons of pain and seasons of discomfort. Yeah. And so he's like, your and he challenged the reader, look back and see where is it that you grew the most. And it's true. It's
Absolutely.
in those times of stress. And so, but it's good. It's an important reminder. I would encourage anybody that's maybe feeling a little bit of self-pity, to read that book, because it just reminds you, hey, you're not alone. This is what you signed up for. If you don't want to do that, your leadership level is going to be incredibly limited.
Yeah,
because the higher up in leadership that you get, you really just have to be willing to endure more pain. So
yeah.
Anyway,
I remember hearing that. I remember hearing him speak on the topic, and I was just like, man, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah. No,
I really don't know. If
it was not a warm, fuzzy book.
No.
I started looking at jobs driving a UPS truck. I was like, that
dude, get out of my browser history.
Dude, that's not the one that you want. No, I was joking. That's not the one you don't want me to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It's like how to eat cicadas well is what, Anyway,
chocolate covered.
Yeah, gross. But the funny thing about the UPS thing, that's been my backup plan. Like if I just can't take it anymore,
dude,
that's what I'm gonna do. You know why?
Tell me why.
Because you get in the truck and there's boxes in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
You put the boxes on doorsteps.
Mm-hmm.
You get back in the truck, drive it back, you drop it off, and you go home, and it doesn't. You know what you're not thinking about at night? Boxes.
But then you know what? You know what though? When I was a delivery guy,
you were thinking about boxes?
I literally dreamed of missing deliveries. And I would wake up like, I didn't get that screw to auto parts store 1. I was thinking about deliveries a lot. My brother takes orders in his sleep.
Okay.
You'll think about boxes. But it'll be a lot better to think about boxes. It'll be a lot less stressful to think about boxes.
I don't think that, I'm going to go home from work and, be upset about boxes when I get home.
Very true. Very true. I do get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, my back might hurt, but
hey, that retirement.
Yeah. They get
and the
paid
benefits
well.
Dude.
Being a UPS driver is a good gig.
My friend's husband was telling me the other day how much he's making now, and it's like a lot an hour.
That's
and
crazy.
Then they're I think she said that they were going to maybe do like a new contract next year, so it could bump up even higher. But he's been there for a long time, so people are not going to start at what he's making, but he's making bank. So I have said multiple times that on frustrating days at work, like I can go to I'll go to UPS right now and make more than I'm making.
Yeah, the problem though is that they don't need drivers here.
True.
So it was
true.
It was a divine intervention. I had a rough day, and I was like, this is it. This is the day I'm going to apply.
We're the same person.
I got on there and I looked, nearest job, Bozeman, Montana. I'm like, well,
dude,
that dream's dead.
Go.
So, no, I can't do that. My family lives here.
Well,
and my children have relationships with their family that lives here.
Yeah,
and our
true.
friends live here. Our whole life is right here. I'm stuck in Central Illinois forever.
Do you know that I almost moved to Bozeman, Montana before I met you?
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I was looking at jobs in Bozeman, Montana.
You and everybody else who was watching Yellowstone. They're like,
I don't know if I was watching Yellowstone then. I was just trying to find the most remote place that still was like very, like cost of living wasn't high, jobs were great. It was when I was in that medical class that I was getting my certification for what was it even I was getting? EKG tech.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I can go and just
Kansas,
live it up in Bozeman, Montana, and make
Montana's
great money.
expensive now. I mean,
yeah.
If you wanted something like that, just remember there's try to think of all of the states that you forget. So if you sit down, challenge yourself to write down all 50 states in 5 minutes, the ones that you forgot are the ones you want to move to.
I'm going to Rhode Island.
Yeah, people remember Rhode Island because it's the smallest. And
I don't remember Rhode Island.
People forget like Idaho.
Definitely forget Idaho.
Yep.
Definitely
people forget
Idaho.
Nevada.
I do not. I'm a Raiders
New
fan.
Mexico.
Breaking Bad.
Okay, but you're not thinking about you're not like, oh yeah, that was.
I'm thinking about Albuquerque all the time. I'm wondering where Walter White is.
So I think that there's those ones, the ones that you forget, are the ones that you want to go to. Except for like New Hampshire and Vermont, like it's expensive up there.
It is. So. Yeah, I would love to go to like that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's expensive. Also, my coworker, her daughter lived in Boston for a while. And that was always kind of like an underlying dream of mine, is to go live at least near Boston. And she's like, the prices are insane.
Insane.
Oh, well, what I would give to be able to be a Boston fan and living near Boston. And
you would be spending so much on like life that you would never get to go to a game.
Yeah, maybe
it wouldn't matter.
Maybe you're right, but
you'd have to like live in the stadium, or you'd have to work in the stadium.
Oh, dude, I would do that.
Work in the stadium?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that would be terrible.
I would end up being like the mascot of all teams.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
You'd be the gold bear here.
Hey, get your peanuts.
Or you'd have to be the bouncer. And and the person comes up to you and they're like, that guy is not sitting in their seat, and they're sitting in my section, which is in my seat, and they're very drunk. Would you remove them?
That Laker fan is not sitting in the right seat. I'd kick him out, dude.
Yeah, well.
And now, there's this I'm just really heartbroken today because last night the Bruins again lost to the Florida Panthers in the playoffs.
Are they out?
Yeah, they're out. And they lost on the floor of the TD Garden, which is just so historic for winning. And you let a warm weather team beat you, and you have an amazing season, and it's great, and you're this amazing team. You're number one all freaking season, and then you lose in the playoffs to the Florida Panthers, and it's just ridiculous.
I feel like the practicing the presence of Jesus, you're starting to make Brother Lawrence sweat a little bit over there again.
Jesus, come into my life, walk with me throughout this day.
Anyway, all right. Well, hey, we need to give people like something to think about before the next episode.
Cicadas.
No, I meant like something like real and helpful.
Now, what do you think?
That's why I asked you.
Probably shouldn't ask me right now.
Why are you still
I need to practice the presence.
Fuming over
hey, you know
the
what?
Boston Bruins?
You know what? Something to think about is how we can apply practicing the presence to our days, and how we can apply loving God in literally everything we do, even if it means something as small as cooking a meal. And that's what Brother Lawrence did. He loved God absolutely in everything he did, and he did it for the love of God. So, I mean, even when he faced frustrating circumstances, the guy writing about him was like, you never saw it. You never saw his frustration. He just loved God even more. So I need that in my life. I need to practice that in my life. I need to love God even more when I'm going through frustrating circumstances and frustrating things and things that are not good. Or I need to do everything with that love. Even though sometimes I don't feel like, man, this has nothing to do with God. But everything that we do, everything that we put our hands to, everything we work for, we can do it with that love of God, which is scriptural. That's in the Bible. So somewhere, do everything for the glory of God, or something like that.
Do everything, work as if you're working for the Lord, not for man. You know?
So that's something that we can do and we can take away from is, no matter what, like let's try to practice that and get that in our hearts, that we love God, and the adoration for Him can come out in every aspect of our day, even the smallest little moments.
So like lifestyle of worship sort of practice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Well, all right.
I love you.
I love you too. It's been good to be back.
Yes.
With our new intro music and weird cicada.
That was a cicada call.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if that was Pentecostal or a cicada call.
Oh, all right. Well, with that, you should wrap it up.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Crazier.
I'll tell you this. God loved us first. God loves us best, and God loves us most. Tell them what they want to hear, Garrett.
This is the Bad Apples Podcast. Thanks for listening.